Very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first day of the Clean India show. We have with us today Mr. Pat Schottler, the Vice President, Asia Pacific Business for Tennant Company. Very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, this is your first visit to India?
This is my second visit to India, but my first visit in the last 15 years. So it's 15
wow.
years since I've been here.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a long time.
It is a long time.
Wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Now you come in with Tennant machines, and now in a big way in the Indian market. So, what is your global plans and your Indian plans?
Sure. Part of my job as the leader of the Asia Pacific Business Unit is to decide which countries that we should focus our resources on and invest in. Yeah, because there are so many countries in Asia Pacific and it's such a compelling market. And so when I evaluate geographies, we think about, is this a country that we can win in? And is this a market that we need to win in? And so when I think about the India market, I think through those two lenses. Is it a market where the cleaning industry is compelling? It's either large or it's growing rapidly or ultimately will be a large market. And it is a market where we can actually go there and be successful and win. If it isn't, if it's not compelling or if we don't think we can win, we're not likely to invest our resources there. And so when I think about the Indian market, for us, it is both of those things. So it is a market where we feel like we need to win. It's not the largest market in the world today, but at 1.4 billion people, we believe over time, the Indian market will grow into one of the largest markets in the world. And so our perspective is, we want to be a leader here as the market grows. And so as it gets to be one of the largest markets in the world, we're out in front. So we feel like it's a market where we need to win. The second question is harder. Is the market, can we win? And from our perspective, through the acquisition of IPC, it gave us the right to win in India because of the business that IPC has built here over the last 15, 25 years. We've built up a large sales organization, a large service organization. We've got relationships with the largest BSCs in the market. We've got a strong brand. And because of the business that's been built here, we now believe that we're in a position to win here. And so that's how I look at the Indian market. I think it's a market where Tennant Company can win, and I think it's a market where Tennant Company needs to win.
Pat, I like the way you say you wanted to win in this market. So are you looking at India as a challenge?
Absolutely. It is a challenging market.
Okay, so why do you say it's a challenging market?
For a lot of different reasons. I think one of the biggest challenges with the India market is it's a very price sensitive market. The reality is mechanized cleaning typically is a function of labor costs. And labor costs are low in India relative to more mature markets. And so that puts pressure on price points. You know, in some cases, it might still make more sense to have someone clean with a broom or with a mop and bucket than a mechanized piece of equipment. And with Tennant Company and the Tennant brand specifically, we're a premium brand. You know, we believe in the value proposition. And so one of the challenges in the Indian market is to be able to demonstrate our value to those that are using the cleaning equipment to be able to justify that investment in mechanized cleaning. So kind of the price sensitivity of the Indian market is one of the biggest challenges that we've got.
Right. You have been present in this market for quite some time.
We have.
Right. So how different is it going to be now?
I'm really excited about how different it's going to be for us now. So now with the combination of the legacy IPC business and the IPC portfolio of products combined with the Tennant portfolio of products, kind of positions us uniquely in the market. Let me explain why. Historically, IPC has a wonderful line of products and has built a wonderful business here in India, very much focused on building service contractors, facilities management companies, cleaning mostly commercial spaces. Tennant's history and Tennant's legacy from a product perspective is very industrial.
Yes.
So if you think about cement plants, steel mills, anything where it's really heavy manufacturing, that's where Tennant's products have done the best globally for a very long time. And so now, with the strength that the IPC company has built here with large sales organization, large service organization, good relationships, but a largely commercial product portfolio. Now we can come to India with the Tennant product portfolio, leverage the business that's been built here to go into some new markets, like the industrial markets. And I think because of that combination, we look at India entirely differently than we would have 3-4 years ago.
Right. This brings to me one question that I need to ask you here. Every time, even the Indian market is aware, when you talk of Tennant, it's a broad bracket, category where the prices come in, especially. And this is known to the Indian market. So how are you going to break that thought process of Tennant is not just price, it's the part of what it delivers?
That's right. Yeah, for Tennant, it's all about trying to communicate the value of what the equipment brings. And so we will not bring Tennant equipment into environments where high performance, high durability, and high quality aren't needed. So we will take the Tennant equipment into the most demanding environments where you can show the customer the value that they're going to get in terms of the quality of the clean and the value that they're going to get in terms of the life and reliability of the equipment. Take for instance a steel mill application or a cement plant application. If you were to put into that application a lower value product, it may last 1, 2, maybe 3 years if you're lucky. And over that 3-year time period, you're going to be investing significantly in service visits, in replacement parts, consumables. And so if you look at the total cost of ownership of a lower piece of equipment, it's actually higher. And so if you come in with a Tennant piece of equipment, you can show them that over the life cycle of the equipment, you're actually going to spend less because you're buying fewer parts, you're having fewer service visits. The Tennant equipment is specifically built for those applications. And so it's on us to be able to go to the right customers that require that level of quality and durability, show that to them, and then have them build trust over time. It won't happen overnight. There are a select number of customers, and we're going to focus on them first, and continue to build the knowledge and the brand in the market, and then grow from there.
So you have now a very strong India team.
We do.
And so, are you also planning to have some customized India range or something like that? Our approach, my approach at Tennant Company is we acknowledge that every market is different. And so, no two markets are exactly the same in the approach from a go-to-market perspective or a product perspective. I believe it needs to be tailored for each individual market. And the benefit of Tennant Company as a whole now is that between our legacy Tennant business, our IPC business, and even businesses that we've acquired in China like Gaomei, across all of those manufacturing plants and all those product portfolios, we believe we have all the pieces necessary to be competitive in any market, especially from a floor care perspective. And so what we're more likely to do is to pick and choose from our portfolio of products to apply the best possible portfolio for the India market. And that portfolio is likely going to be different than what we would do in Japan or Korea or North America or Europe. So we're more likely to pick from our large portfolio of products and tailor it specifically to what the Indian market needs. Now, there are some cases where we will partner with local manufacturers where there's a very unique need in the market, but largely speaking, we think we have the portfolio of products that we need somewhere inside Tennant Company. Great, wonderful. My last question, do you have plans to manufacture in India?
We don't currently have plans to manufacture in India, but we're always evaluating potentials and possibilities. And so for us, we'll continue to grow in the India market, and we're going to continue to evaluate our growth strategy. And at some point, it may make sense for us to continue to really research and explore whether or not manufacturing here gives us the ability to better meet customer needs. That'll be kind of our trigger point. As long as we can effectively meet customer needs, we likely won't, but as soon as we think that it's going to be necessary to better meet the needs of the Indian customers, then we'll do whatever it takes to ensure that we deliver on that.
Great. Thank you so much for your input.
Yeah.
Wonderful meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Have a wonderful stay as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the show.